All right, now we're going to go over some activities that we've gotten for you guys, and this is one called the Climate and Weather Kit. When I have not used this in the classroom because, but I just found it this year when looking for things for you guys, but I did take it home and play with it. It came after my weather unit, and I had planned on using it for review prior to Science Plus at the end of the school year, but well, we know what happens. So anyway, I love this kit. So the first thing that you're going to see is you're going to see that there's a bunch of pieces in here. It comes with every single thing that you need. And it comes with this great guide, and it shows you how to assemble stuff. It even has stuff for the kids to read if you wanted to copy it. It shows you how to do things. This goes along with so many of our standards. I was super excited for this. It's got ocean currents. It has warm and cold air. It's got convection in here, air pressure, which, you know, is a really good one. The air pressure one I like a lot. They put, try putting a balloon in a bottle and blow the balloon up, and kids can't because there's air in the bottle, and it's just a really cool demonstration or an activity for them. But it comes with everything. The first thing that you're going to have to do though is get to these things, and don't be afraid that some of them are already popped out, but this is going to be your globe, and it's going to end up looking like this. So you're going to push these two together, and you're going to want to break all of the, I guess, bumps off, and then you're going to rubber band it, and you're going to take these stickers. And what I did is I took the whole thing off, and I just made sure that the equator went along the equator line, and then they just tape together. And that is the only thing that doesn't fit back in the box after you've made it. But everything else is given to you with instruction and all of the fun things that you get to do. It's got several things, and they're reusable. It's not use it and lose it. And if the material calls, if the book calls for a certain material, it's in this box, all the way down to paper clips. So it's got some really fun stuff in here. There's one in here where you can create a convection current using a heat and a little triangle that's got like smokes. It's got some really good stuff in it. You need to make sure you read this book. This right here is what's going to help you with this whole box. It even has a place for you to put water that goes around the globe and works on the currents. I'm going to be using it for sure. So enjoy using this. It's got multiple activities for you. The other thing that I got was a weather station. I don't have a weather station in my classroom, and I always have to have my students go to weather.com for the current weather. The problem is weather.com can be, it's the Weather Channel, and it can be a little bit difficult for the kids to navigate. And I thought it'd be neat if I actually had a weather station here, then they would be able to know the things that we need to teach them. We do like a daily weather for a couple of weeks, and then they have to do the mean median mode of the week to get the average temperature and the average pressure and things like that. Bringing some math into it. But this one is a really nice one. You're going to have a device that'll sit outside, and I usually just put it outside on the windowsill of my window. You could put it somewhere else, up in a tree. It doesn't matter. I would put it somewhere the kids won't get it though. And that's why I can tell you inside and outside temperature readings and pressure, humidity. This will show you, like if you're expecting storms or rain or sunshine, and you can use that to talk about high and low pressure. When you watch that barometric pressure drop, you can see that this would change. So I really liked this one, and I think that you guys will too. Okay. I'm going to let Laurie explain another activity before I do this one.
So we also have this game coming to you. You can use this just as a whole class. You will be getting enough that you can break your students into groups, or it's also a good activity for those students that are finishing early. And I guess with our distance learning, it might be a good one just to use for a couple of students at a time, and hopefully you'll be able to keep them, or a student at a time, to review, and then maybe play a game as long as you can keep your social distance.
And it's really cool because the whole thing fits in this really nice little pouch that is easy to store.
So you get a set of 4 review cards in each packet. There's just the backup information like this that has your information for your weather and climate, your weather tools and so forth. And then it has some activities that they can complete in here. So you might want to have them do some activities. These are neat enough or clear enough that you could probably scan them and put them onto your Google Slides or something, so that you could actually have them do some of these assignments on their Chromebooks. And then once they were done, then they could play the game. You get your pieces that go with it. So some of the activities, they have your weather tools, you have your weather and climate information. Here's the water cycle, your clouds, the storms, and then you have your weather tools right here. So it's a good review. There's also some questions that are here, that just a good quick activity that, again, you could do on your Chromebooks, do this part, and then once they were done, you could do it on here.
And I usually take the back of this one, and if they can pass this, like a little quiz, then I let them play the game with their partner or somebody that has also passed it. You can also let them work together. Sometimes collaboration is better for some of your learners. There is a quick version, and then there's a longer version depending on how much time. That's nice about these games. And there's question cards. Let's see. No,
I get this one?
Yeah. So they're going to roll the dice and basically draw a card. Okay? You want the answers to be face down, and they pick up the card and they lay it on the table, read the question, tell everybody what they think the answer is. And sometimes they can collaborate, you know, and if somebody could steal their dice, like if they roll a 4, somebody could get it correct and they get to take the 4. You can play it in all kinds of ways. And then they turn it over and find out what the answer is. If they're right, they get to move forward the number that was on the dice. And if they're wrong, they don't get to move. So you can just give them a extra credit, although I don't do that too often. Or you could tell them if they win, I don't know, you just come up with some incentive, or just tell them they get to have fun. So,
or with distant learning, divide them into 2 teams, and you call out the questions and use the game board, just so that you get the whole class at the same time.
Yep, these are great. They have these. This one's weather. They've got some on animals, plants, photosynthesis. So if you really like these, talk to your principal about getting more of them, and then you've got a really good way to review. I've also not used all these cards, and I've created cards of my own that were easy, just printed on regular paper, just questions and answers that I wanted to control. So these are great.
And included in their kit is their list of materials that they have available. Yeah. So different subjects, different branches of science.
It's a really good tool to have. All right. And this last one here that we have for this one is something I found online and I thought was super, super cool. It's going to be on the web link page, but you have students go in and draw the weather, the water cycle. Make sure they include the 2 main things that we are trying to teach them, which is the transpiration and the runoff, groundwater and surface water. Now I just put, for this virtual, we just colored the water in, but you're really going to put blue colored water. It doesn't have to be this dark, but just blue colored water in the bag, no paper towel. The paper towel is just in there so that you can see the, the actual picture. But you'll seal it up. And the activity online shows that you put this in the window, and the heat from the sun will heat up the water. They'll see evaporation. And then in the cool, you can have it when the sun is gone, they will see condensation and water up here, and it start to rain or precipitate down back into the water. It's another way for them to see something that they have a hard time seeing. But I think that was more for elementary, where the kids are in the same room, and so they have more time and a chance to see that throughout the day. So I think in my classroom, what I will do is put some of these on poster board, or perhaps, a science project board, and just tape them to it and use a science light and shine the light, let them heat up with an incandescent bulb. So you want to make sure you're not using just LED. And then take the light off halfway through the class and see if that creates the same scenario synthetically. But these are great because it makes them review their water cycle. Maybe in the beginning you can have them draw the water cycle, and then as you teach them transportation, have them add a tree for transpiration. And then when you teach runoff, you can have them add the runoff. It may be another way for them to remember that they have to add those things to the water cycle. I also have ordered you guys some Sharpies, several sets, because Sharpies are very expensive, and this was just too good of an activity not to have. You guys do. You need to let these kids the baggies are cheap. Just go to Walmart, get you some baggies, let these kids have some fun with this and see something else.